Hello, fellow geeks and citizens. I am Geekier Gamer, and today we will dive into research and more stones as we try to make some progress in this pack. Welcome back to Techopolis 3. Alright, so a lot has changed in between episodes. I have begun the base build in the style that I'm hoping to go with, which is kind of buildings. And I laid out this kind of road and footprints for the different buildings. I'm going to probably do some sort of park in some of these spots, you know, get some green going and maybe some trees. So I'm not there yet. This is a work in progress. I just laid out the framework for a few buildings here. These are my old miners, and I haven't quite moved them yet because I'm still getting resources, especially stone, because I need lots and lots of stone to build skyscrapers like this one. So let me show you what I've done. I've taken all the miners for making basic technium, all the materials. It goes way, way up in the sky. Now, those are all feeding under here and over to the cyan building. And in the cyan building, I am producing all the things needed for basic technium now. So this is all stuff we had automated somewhat and it was sitting out here in the middle. I've moved it into this building. The only thing that's not actually automatic is rods and ingots. I have a backlog of those. I probably should keep some. Honestly, let me grab a stack out of here. But I had a backlog of those as I was trying to prepare for this. But as you can see, going all the way up, that's got the treated wood. And I put little item frames everywhere so I can see what's going on. And then up here, we got the rock washers. And this is where I'm actually going to bring in stone, which I am not quite doing yet. So I'm going to set up these rock washers, bring in stone. Oh, that's right. I didn't turn on the things up there yet. I built the miners for the stone up here. I just didn't set them to extract. So they're just backlogging the first stack. And I did some math. We'll see if I'm right. That I only need a couple miners to really run the stone once I get the copper focus. So once I get the copper focus, then we're going to turn these on and this will keep things going. But in the meantime, we actually have everything we need to start doing basic research because I've produced quite a bit of technium already. Look at that, 42. So we're going to grab those out and that's going to keep producing based on the materials we have. I think I had some technium in a chest over here someplace. But rather than sit here and have you hear me, there's one and some here. And rather than you just hear me open these chests. So I still have some things to move around. As you can see, these are embedded in the ground. But I did buy the building gadget and the charger for the building gadget, and it has made this so much better. I don't really like this, how I've textured, or really not textured this building. My goal would be to maybe there are some other gadgets I can buy that let me do some replacing of blocks and do some like wear and tear on these buildings. But I was just trying to get something in place for now, kind of placeholders. All right, so more research. So now that we've got technium, we can begin to do research. And right, the basic research is a nugget, turns into a book. What we're headed for, there's a few researches that would be very helpful for us as we move through this pack. Let's see, the drawers would be a great one. Crafting terminal, Tom's crafting terminal would be great. Let's see here. Summoning block is for mobs. Spray cans I don't care about. Dye we might need. Although I found a workaround for dye. If we take dirt and put it in here, we can actually get out grass of a different color. And that's what I use to get the colors of these blocks. Actually, no, that's not true because we can just put stone in here and get the colored blocks. There was some. Oh, it's what I did for the glass because you need to dye to do the glass. So it's a little trick. Alloy kiln, obsidian. I don't know. Ooh, a crafter would be very helpful for crafting some stuff. So there's a lot here in this research tree that would be very helpful to us. This is our researcher here. Let's throw some nuggets in there and let me get a few more nuggets. So we get a bunch of these books because each of these crafts take a lot of these books. So once we get our first basic research, that unlocks this whole thing. There we go. Yes. And then that opens up the drawers blueprint. I see just some creates all right, 32 and 32. And then that'll give us, that'll unlock access to drawer cores, which we can craft using the drawer blueprint and some planks and the basic researcher. So in between episodes, I'm going to move to drawers. Many of you probably already done drawers before. I'm not going to play around and spend your time here. My goal actually will be to build a drawer array probably in this green building here. It's kind of centrally located. I gotta finish moving this stuff out of the way, but yeah. All right. Let's see. So, okay, great. That's basic research. Let's look at more stones because it's going to require us to do some of this to get there, right? We need to get a rock enricher blueprint. To get that, we need 4 of these and a rock washer. So we need to make a rock washer. So we need some treated wood, which I have a lot of resources over here from when we were producing before. And somewhere there's treated wood. Let's see. Oh, it's probably this one. It's one of these stacks here. Those. Lots of materials. There we go. Treated wood. I already have a tank on me, but I don't know if it'll take that tank because it's got water in it. Let's see here. Rock. Washer. Okay. Sturdy frame, which I have. Let's see. Let's go over to the chest here and let's see if we can make it. Nope, I need to make a new tank. There we go. All right, and a rock washer. All right, so let's look at that thing again. So the basic research, 4 books and a rock washer. Got a bunch of books already. Take this out for a second. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Put those in, put the rock washer in. Consumed. And we should get our blueprint that will let us create our rock enricher. All right, and then so how do we create the rock enricher? Basic Technium frame and a rock enricher blueprint. Not consumed, that's nice. So we're gonna have to need to throw down a chest for all of these blueprints. And we're gonna need to make a basic Technium machine frame. So we need, okay, coal, copper, basic Technium. I have all of that on me. We'll just make 1. To start, put the blueprint in. Wrong. Am I in the wrong place? Basic. Why is it not letting me put that in? Why is it not letting me put that in? All right, let's go figure this. Let me figure this out and we'll get right back with you. All right, it helps if you read. I need to do this in a basic researcher, not the actual researcher that I started with. So let's see. I'm going to actually need 1 more of those frames. Let's sleep. I dislike it being dark. So 1 more Technium machine frame. And then we need to make the basic researcher. Let's see. Basic research crafter. There we go. Plop this down. So I put this chest down just a little too soon. So put the basic research crafter right here and put the chest on top of it, really. Let's do that. All right, now we can do this. There and there. All right, it's consumed. Let's see how we're doing on Technium here. We finally ran out of rods. Yep. I only did so many prepping for this, but that's okay because once we get past this, the goal would be to get to the copper focus, which then I can turn my stone stuff on. All right, so I got the researcher now. Create a copper focus. In the basic researcher, I need to combine 24 inch and the rock enricher blueprint. All right, well, I already had the rock enricher blueprint. So I need to create some orange. So this is where I'll show you what I did earlier. Let me find my leaves. Here we go. This is good enough. All right, so if I make some dirt, which I need to do over here. Once you make the dirt, you stick the dirt into the cutter. And then we're going to go with, we need orange grass block. Put those down to the ground. And then somewhere in one of these chests, I have good quantity of bone meal. There we go. So now we just start playing the game. We're trying to get the orange flowers. Oh, I'm full up. Let's see. Dump some stuff here. Get rid of leaves. Get rid of the planks. Get rid of one of my extra axes. All right, orange dye. Orange dye. That should be enough. Let me grab some glass. There it is. Craft. That's the easiest way to get dye in this pack. There is a way where we can create dye, but this is the easiest way to get dye. All right, let's throw these in here. Off it goes. That's going to create a copper focus, which we're going to need. Oof, we're going to need quite a few. Well, so we'll need to take a look up here and see how many we need, and then we will have to craft basic research a few more. So let's take a look, and then we'll take a break. Let's see here. I got 1, 2, that's right, 10 rock washers. So I need 10 copper focuses. So let me do that, and we'll be right back. All right. So I have 10 copper focuses now. We're going to go up here and put them in the machines and get this moving. See, the goal here is, if I did the math right, the number of miners I have are the right number of miners to keep these things busy. But, you know, we shall see. We shall see. So we're going to put a focus in each one of these that I can reach. Go to the other side, do the same. So what this copper focus is going to let me do is pump in stone. And remember, if you remember with cobble, we only had 1 in 25 chance of receiving copper piece. Whereas with stone and a copper focus, we get 100% chance of getting a copper piece. So this should produce exactly what we need. So let's go up here. Let's get this going. There we go. Oops. Okay, go this way. So 2 of these are filling the ingots, and one of these is for rods. So we'll see if I calculated that right, but off it goes. So it should come down to the rock washers. Now it's going to fill first come, first serve. It's just the way this works. But they'll slowly fill up. Yep, there. Now we're getting copper. So the copper should come to... There it comes. To a compactor. And the goal would be hopefully of producing enough stone that it's going to keep all of these things busy. All right. Go down. Go sleep. We're going to let that run, and we'll know over time if it's really producing fast enough. So when I did the math on all of the components that are there for basic technium, it takes 200 ticks for this machine over here to create a single technium, and my goal was to produce 200 ticks worth of all the materials. So already I think that's a little shy but we'll see. We'll see. There's stone coming down. Oh, that's the wrong one. There's copper coming down. Copper will make rods here, and copper will make ingots here. So it does not feel like it's fast enough. And I don't know if it's, I just got to feed it more stone, or if it's just the stone's got a backlog. But the number of rock washers I chose were based on, in my mind, based on the math. But it probably needs to get to the point where every rock washer has enough stone to keep it flowing. So we'll find out. Let's let that run. While that's going, we're going to continue to progress through our pack. Let's see. We do want to unlock with 32 books the drawers. So that'll unlock drawers, which is here. And then I will actually build the drawers off screen. I just wanted to pop that in right now. So, all right, continuing on in our quest line here, it looks like the next thing we need to be able to make is purifying mulch made inside the research crafter, can be used to transform water. So let's see here, advanced basic research crafter. So the rock enricher will proof and 2 mulch, and then we create mulch with that. All right, let's go create some mulch. Find some leaves. There we go, some leaves. 8, and then need some saplings. So saplings surrounded. There we go, 2 mulch. There's our drawers blueprint. I'm just going to stick it over for now. Here we go. Purifying. All right, this is going to create purifying mulch. What's this over here? Water purifier. A more automatic way. Oh, crap. We're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. So we need... Let's see. It's 2 mulch per, and we need 6, so 2, 4, 6, 8. So we need 10 more. Okay. Go, leaves. I feel like I'm mathing this wrong, but we'll give it a go. And this, there, we'll see. So if I throw that in there, that'll start making more purifying salt mulch, which we'll need for the craft of this crafter, which we'll need a simple machine frame, 2 ceramic buckets. So simple machine frame, we could probably make real quick. What was that thing? What was that thing called? Let's see. Water purifier. So water purifier. Simple machine frame. We should have 2 clay ceramic buckets laying around someplace. There they are. All right. And once that finishes here, then we'll be able to do this craft. So what else is coming up while we're waiting for that? There's going to be a lot of waiting. So then each of these focuses allows rock enricher to create andesite. Okay, different colored stained glass. All right, so light gray. So let me think about that. So I'm going to write that down, light gray. Right, and I'm going to use my new trick. So light gray, white, for creating dirt. It gets me the different things. Granite is brown. All right, so, and then that'll then allow us to create these rocks, which will then allow us to create 10 different focuses. I see. Actually, we don't even need, do we need the granite? Iron ore piece. Oh, yeah. So we'll have to start doing the math here again. Yeah, generating granite from the rock enricher, we need to do so at the same rate. Okay, so let's grab that. Let's create our water purifier. There's that. Now I wonder how fast this produces water. Purified water. Let's see, uses 2 milliwatt to create 1 millibucket of purified per tick. So we'll have to do the math similarly to see how many water purifiers we need to do this work. Let's take a sleep. Nope, it's just thunderstorm. All right. So I'm going to set this up out here to start, just to get a better idea of what it's going to look like, and then it'll end up going in a building. Ambient. Do we have any? Nope. I need smooth stone, which I have somewhere over here. There it is. It's awesome. Let's try to sleep again. Nope, just thunderstorm. All right. Floppers. I need 2. So let's get the water going. We're just going to build this in a linear way here. So get the water going into this thing. Then this should purify it. Yep, there it is. And now we're going to need rock washers again. Oops, not for the granite. We're going to need rock enricher. So more rock enrichers. 3 rock enrichers here. And what are these for? All right. So I need I need a rock enricher. So we'll do a rock enricher. We're gonna need a rock washer and a rock enricher. So rock enricher. Okay, I need to create another one of these basic technium. Put that in here, research it. There it goes. The rock washer. I need simple frame. I need a tank. All right, so that gets us our rock washer. And I'm gonna need some more pipe. Oop, wrong way. This way maybe? There it is. All right, so our rock enricher's done. So the rock enricher would go here. The rock washer would go here. The rock enricher needs purified water, which we can give it. And then it needs a granite focus, which will need brown stained glass. All right, so let me find the leaves. Oh, I had a bunch of money. And then this. Just make a crafting table over here for now. There we go. All right, leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need brown. Probably don't need the orange anymore, but I'll leave it there for now. All right, so I'm gonna do this, and we will be right back. All right, so here we are. We're gonna throw our 16 glass in there. That's gonna get us the granite focus, right? And then the granite focus goes in with stone. So I would need to create another miner to generate stone. Now I have a bunch of stone over here, so I'm gonna set something up for temporary use here, where I pipe in stone from this chest. All right, once we get the granite. All right, while we're waiting for that, go get some stone. I have a bunch of stone over here. My inventory's pretty bad. Inventory management is continuing to be a thing. All right, there we go. I don't know what the conversion rate is. And what's going on here? All right, we're getting water. We're just getting it slowly. We'll just see if it takes more than one purifier to run a line. All right, let's put the granite focus in the rock enricher. There it goes. And so then in the rock washer, we need a iron focus, which means we need red stained glass. So same deal. Get some leaves. Some dirt. Throw them in here. Look for red. Red grass block. How many red? Let's see here. How many red? 24. So it's not going to take too long. So. Find this little cheat really very, very helpful. Otherwise, you would have to go the route where you make the craftable dyes, which is a mechanism. Probably easier, but it's going to depend on how many of these I need to make. I feel like I need to automate that. So, all right, let me throw some things out of my inventory. Got some red. I have enough glass on me already. It's 24, so we don't need to do more than we need. There we go. Toss it in there. Offload some stuff out of my inventory. All right, so that's going to get the granite from here. It's going to get the 10, or iron focus rather, which would be nice to get iron tools so my stuff lasts longer. Iron focus. Go ahead and pipe in. Pipe in the granite. All right, so the question is, I need water. All right, this is producing not enough water. I need let me make 3 ambient water. Ambient. See if I counted correctly. There we go. Let's get a second ambient water back here. And then we're going to need 2 for this guy as well. So get some pipe going. All right. Here we go. Is it a 1 for 1? So let's see. It looks like it is. Every single time it grows, it creates an ore piece, which you need 4 ore pieces to make a single piece of iron ore. So, but this is going. So let me just throw a chest down for now. Do this, pipe it out, and now we have the compactor. Let's see, we need sturdy, and I need some cobble, which I have here. So you need compressed cobble to make this thing. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Compactor. Boom. So really this doesn't go that way. It goes this way. Tear this down. Pick this up. The ore pieces go in there. Put a chest here. And Bob's your uncle. So there'll need to be some fine tuning, I think, in terms of stone. Looks like the stone are producing fine. I think we're generating more purifying water than we're using, so that's good. And then here, we're producing more water than we're using, so that's good. So, yeah. All right, so this setup here is just one of 3 metals. I'm just going to replicate this off camera for tin and aluminum, but it's the exact same setup. And I'm going to migrate this setup into its own building, probably magenta over there. And like I said, in between episodes, so I'll create those three production lines. It'll require me to create some stone miners, but you've seen how to do that, so there's no sense dragging that out. And then I'll fine tune the numbers here. I'll actually sit down with a calculator and figure out the numbers to see how many ambient water collectors I need per unit for optimal running to get as much iron as we can. And then I will do the storage drawers in between episodes. So when we come back, this should all be cleaned up. So we made some progress. We're learning a little bit about iron and aluminum and tin. We're learning the rock watcher, the basic researcher. And so we're making some progress through the pack. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I am Geekier Gamer, and I will see you next time.